let's go over to the KP news. And this is the one that long-term obviously is going to have the biggest set of implications here going forward. KRISTAPS PORZINGIS, we've talked many times amongst ourselves here on the show with guests, specifically Mike Gorman, Drew Carter, even recently when he was on as an appearance. The X factor is KRISTAPS PORZINGIS. It above and beyond even the Drew Holiday upgrade over Marcus Smart. What makes this team unique and different from the last couple of seasons is KRISTAPS Porzingis. His ability to just be as big as he is, to be 7'3", to be able to take the shots that he takes 4 or 5 feet behind the 3-point line, to be able to be that back of line defender. There's so many different elements that KRISTAPS has brought to this team. And for the most part, the Celtics have been really lucky with avoiding, any major injuries. And we don't know what this is going to be right now. Like I said, Chris Haynes at halftime called it calf tightness. Woj then came in over the top rope, as he always does here, with one of his tweets that kind of, as you read it, you're almost fearing worse and worse. So from Woj, I'll just read it directly. Boston Celtics center KRISTAPS Porzingis' right calf will undergo imaging on Tuesday, but early indications are that he hasn't sustained an Achilles injury, sources tell ESPN. So potentially avoiding an Achilles injury, which is great. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods, though. As I said, calf injuries seem to be all the rage in the NBA. Ask Giannis, ask Jamal Murray. So it doesn't mean that we're out of the woods. And I was texting with a few friends, and so first of all, I noticed the first play where I believe it was Tyler Hero was driving, and KP went up to contest and came up gimpy. Noticed it right away the first time. A couple plays later, he stays in the game. Seems like he's kind of working through it. Things are all going to be okay. And then when he goes to set that screen, and you see him just immediately pull up, put his hand up. That was one that was tough. And then as he's walking towards the bag, to me, when he goes and puts his jersey over his mouth, screams into it, it really reminded me of Zion in the play-in game against Lakers. No idea if it's the same injury, and I can't remember Zion's injury top of my head right now either. But what these two guys have in common is two very injury-riddled histories, right? These guys know what it feels like to be injured. And at this point, with all of the list of injuries that those type of guys have had, it makes me feel like they know right away when this is a bad one, this is nothing. This is a bad one. If you have that much experience in anything, you start to get very familiar with the beats and rhythms of whatever it is that is happening. So, maybe it's an injury that KP's had before, so he knows exactly what it's feeling. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But the way that he screamed into his jersey out of frustration very much felt like the same thing that we saw Zion do in the play-in when he had to take himself out after he was going off against the Lakers for 40+. It had to take himself out the last 2-3 minutes of that game, and ultimately the Lakers went on to win, and he hasn't been able to play in this first-round series. So when it comes to KP, I would be shocked if we see him. Actually, I'm not going to be shocked. We won't see him again in this Miami series. The Celtics, without KRISTAPS Porzingis, we saw Luke Cornett get some run in the second half. Xavier Tillman, he's going to be, stay ready, crew. Gonna need to be ready. He'll be available in Game 5, and Game 5 of the series this is one of the games that the Celtics need to close out. This is Game 5 last year against the Hawks that they didn't. Went 6, and then you went basically into a series in the next round against Philly where you're going every other day, and you added yourself a couple extra days to that rhythm when you could have spared yourself, could have spared Al Horford, could have spared the tread on the tires that's coming with all these guys. Malcolm Brogdon got hurt eventually down the line. I'm not saying that's directly related to it, but if you can get time off in the playoffs, you absolutely have to do it. So this becomes a must-win game. The Celtics have won the last couple games here by double digits, won them emphatically. Game 5 is a must-win game. Up 3-1, a team with true championship aspirations and knowing the circumstances around this. Tatum just rolled his ankle. KP's going to be out with whatever this injury is. You absolutely have to close this out because KP's not coming back for this series. Even if it ends up going to Game 6, he's not coming back. Now you start to think, what is this going to mean potentially for, how long he'll be out? And like I said, I'm completely wildly speculating. I have no idea. We'll know more tomorrow, but my best guess is we're probably without Kristaps for a little bit here. It's going to be a little stretch. And so you start to look at that Magic Cavs series. And if you expect the Celtics to do what they should do, even without KP, they're done with their series on Wednesday. Right now, Cavs Magic is 2-2. So we know definitively they have a game. I'm recording this here Monday night right after the Celtics game. They'll be playing game 5 on Tuesday. They actually haven't had their break in their series yet where they get 2 days off. They have one more of those coming up. So they're not playing game 6 no matter what until Friday night. So if you win on Wednesday, there's no chance that you can even play a game until at least probably that Sunday. So you're giving yourself a few extra days here from Wednesday to Sunday, and that's if the Cavs and Magic do not go to game 7, because their game 7 would be on Sunday, and therefore game 1 could only be as early as they have to give them at least a day off for travel. So then it wouldn't be until at least Tuesday. So Cavs Magic, which looks like it has, I would say, a pretty good chance of going to 7 games. If you get this done on Wednesday night, there's a good chance you're giving yourself 6 full days of rest to be able to get back and see what treatment, see where we're at, where it comes for Kristaps. If there is anything lingering from Jason Tatum rolling his ankle here at the end of the game on that flagrant foul, you're going to want to have that rest opportunity too. So we're going to have to see where that all lands, but that's what makes this game 5 an absolute must win for the Celtics. Potentially give yourself a chance to rest from Wednesday to Tuesday. And then you look at this Cavs and Magic team. And like I said, if Kristaps is going to be out for a couple weeks, these are 2 really big teams. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley on one side. On the other side, you've got, Wendell Carter. You got Jonathan Isaac. Paolo's huge. Franz is a big guy. You got Mo Wagner. You got guys that are going to be in the mix there. Goga. You get a lot of guys that it's going to be tougher to get by without Kristaps in that series than probably you would think. The Celtics still should. Keyword, should get by in that series without Kristaps, but because he is that X factor, it's going to be just that much tougher. So Celtics got to protect home court. Make the 37-4 over this whole regular season. Make it mean something. Close the Heat out. Game 5. Make a statement. Let's get some rest and let's keep it moving. That's going to do it for this episode here of Green with Envy. Coming up on Thursday, I will have Greg riding shotgun with me. We will be doing a Thursday live stream, as we always do, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, working on a special surprise for that one. So if you're listening right now, I'm telling you, you're getting the inside scoop here. You do want to tune into that. We'll make the announcement morning of the show once it is locked in and confirmed. Still working out a few scheduling quirks here, but 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Come join us. Hopefully, we'll be discussing closing out the Miami Heat series and moving on to the conference semifinals. But for now, we're going to wrap this up here, and I'm going to send you off with some Black Sheep Optimist. So please enjoy, and we will catch you guys later this week. Peace.
Every time I get this high, I lose my mind. It don't take much no more until I hit the floor. Every time I get this high, it's you I find. It don't take much no more until I'm at your door.
You cut me to my core, baby. What can I say? You got me on the floor, you know I came to play. I know I shouldn't, but you seem to take my pain away. And every time I score, Jason Tatum fade away. I close my eyes and I'm floating in your river. I call to see if you open, you know I hope you deliver. Every time